Okay, so for today's video, we're talking about neurodynamics, and specifically we're going to be looking at 3 tests that are performed actively for the upper extremity. And these tests target the 3 main nerves that tend to be more impacted by adverse neurodynamics, that being the median nerve, upper limb neural tension test 1, the radial nerve, upper limb neural tension test 2, and the ulnar nerve, upper limb neural tension test 3. And there are kind of 2 options for that last one, but we'll walk through each of these individually. So for the first test, we're going to be targeting the median nerve. I'm going to step to the side just a little bit, and we're going to have our patient walk through these different positions. So the first thing that we need to have the individual do is relax their arms to their side. We're in that starting position. Next, we're going to have the individual actively straighten the elbow with their palm facing straight forward. We're going to have them bring their arm out to the side at about 90 degrees of abduction. We're going to have them extend the wrist, so point their fingers away from them. We can ask if they're beginning to get any of the sensation in that position. And then the last test to kind of sensitize is to tip the head away, which is kind of a combination of side bending and cervical rotation. Right? Go ahead and relax. So the progression is in that order. All right? We're going to extend the elbow first, then the shoulder, lastly the wrist and hand, before side bending and rotating away through the cervical spine. The second upper limb neural tension test is for the radial nerve. Now our starting position is the same, so we need to begin with the arms relaxed to the side. For this one, we're going to ask the individual to internally rotate at the shoulder and pronate, then bring their wrist up into a flex position, and now they're going to look towards their palm and kind of over the shoulder. This position is also commonly referred to as the waiter's tip position, as if a waiter were to come to a table and reach their hand out and someone would give them a tip. Finally, upper limb neural tension test number 3. This targets the ulnar nerve, and there's really 2 positions that work for this on the active side. The first position is also kind of the mind of a waiter, as if you are holding a tray. And so we're going to start in our same position. We're going to ask the individual to flex their elbow up, to extend their wrist and hand, and then to come into a horizontally abducted position. If this were positive, we would expect to feel or have the individual report signs and symptoms through the ulnar nerve distribution. The other variation of this is what's called the mask variation, and we need to have the individual make an OK sign with their fingers. They're then going to take that and they're going to bring it around and place the OK over their eyes. And you'll see that this looks a lot like what we just saw in the first position. Wrist extension, elbow flexion, and this degree of supinated position. So this would be option number 2 for ulnar nerve. Go ahead and relax. Each one of these tests should be performed actively first, and then, depending upon the degree of symptom exacerbation or irritability, the clinician can move into a passive assessment of each of these tests, which we'll link in part 2 of this video. Have a go with a peer or colleague, and let me know if there's any questions. They'll look towards their palm, John. Welcome to Kindergarten 101. Today we're learning how to take directions. Get that on camera. It's still running. Okay, anyway. Here we go, ready?